What's up, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. We ain't hit my boy Raymar football in a minute. Go subscribe to him, get him to 572,000 subscribers. I remember I reacted to Mesut Ozil when I first came on the scene. It probably had to be about 4 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, he one of the people who helped me fall in love with midfielders. I say, boy, this nigga is nuts. And then 3 years or 2 years after that, he became a Twitch streamer, and now chat saying, man, just roared it up. Eyes called him Brock Lesnar Ozil. I said, let me find out, man's like Ozil is out here roaring it up. I actually do remember seeing a picture of him like super duper buff after his football career. He getting into all the weightlifting and whatnot, since you know he ain't got to be all slim for that football pitch. We have the greatest midfielder that almost was with old Mesut Ozil. I remember he used to play for Arsenal. Used to play for Real Madrid. That show goes down.
In football history, there have been some absolutely amazing playmakers. Guys who seem like they had eyes behind the back of their heads.
Luka Modric got that Ballon d'Or.
Vision that makes
hey,
you
was
wonder
Luka Modric? Nah. Was Luka Modric a Rodri Ballon d'Or type Ballon d'Or, or was it more? What was the discourse like around in 2018 when Luka Modric won that Ballon d'Or? It was like on some Rodri. Yup. Damn, boy. Oh, Luka Modric. He say very similar. Which one you think had a better case? Luka Modric for his or Rodri for his? He said, eyes. You already know how eyes should be. He Real Madrid boy. You think Rodri had a better case? Gelato say Modric was way better. I don't know. It just sounded a little disrespectful what Tony talking about. Like, I wasn't even there. I was here for Rodri Ballon d'Or. So if you say Rodri Ballon d'Or has a better case, and that means Luka Modric for sure didn't deserve his. You feel me?
Vision that makes you wonder just what goes on in their minds. That level of football intelligence, technical skill, and vision is just mind-blowing. But if you look at this comparison between different players and the number of assists they've had throughout their careers at the same age, you'll see some absolute legends and typical names.
Damn, this nigga's above Messi? Okay, right here. Hold on. Let's run that back. Let's look at this list. Same age.
Intelligence, technical skill, and vision is just mind-blowing. But if you look at this comparison between different players and the number of assists they've had throughout their careers at the same age, you'll see some absolute legends and typical names at the top of the list. However, there has always been one player that was just better at it than everyone else.
Ozil was...
For quite some time, there was a clear difference.
Damn, he was this far above old Ned Messi and him assists.
Maker, an assist provider that was so good, the man could even manage
shout out Serge Fabregas. I don't even think I ever reacted to Fabregas before. I ain't know he was... Well, obviously, he has to be some type of like that if people ask me to react to him.
Fighter that was so good, the man could even manage to find space in a crowded Mecca. But slowly, after a while, he started to fall off. Mesut Ozil was on track to be the best assister we've ever seen.
What truly happened?
So just what exactly happened, and where did it all go wrong in his career? So today, we're gonna look at Mesut Ozil's story and see how he was the greatest playmaker that never was.
Hey, let's go ahead and see. Subscribe to Men's Like Raymar Football. You go way back.
When 18-year-old Mesut Ozil started his professional career in Schalke, he was a hidden gem. Looking at his stats alone, which was 3 goals and 5 assists in a season and a half, from the outside looking in, you wouldn't think he was anything remarkable or special.
Nah, for real. 38 appearances, 3 goals, 5 assists. Shout out him. It is his debut and whatnot.
Anyway. However, his numbers didn't give any justice to his presence and playmaking at the midfield position. Though a diamond in the rough, his club described him as the next big thing amongst all the young talent in Germany. But the young Ozil wanted more.
Are these niggas playing inside? Am I tripping? Is this an arena they play? Yeah, it's lights on the roof. Why it look like a basketball arena turned into a football pitch?
Ozil wanted more and felt like he could do bigger things. So he left the club to look for more opportunities and get a bigger role. And this is when Ozil's role really started to progress and impress as he gained consistent playing time and experience. But what was more impressive was that on his second season, Ozil would improve dramatically, scoring twice as much. Showed you just how much the young playmaker impacted.
Hey, Raymar getting copyrighted like a motherfucker.
Club. And it did not go unnoticed, especially in Germany, as Mesut Ozil would have the opportunity to be called up to join the German national team and play in the iconic.
Bro, why did I think he was Turkish? Okay, I knew I wasn't tripping. Turkish last name. Hey, quit playing, boy. Like, look at eyes talking about some no way. Hey, quit playing, boy. Pokey say he's Turkish but grew up in Germany. Now that makes sense. You know, I know my demographics and my derivatives and my nationalities and whatnot. I heard the last name Ozil. I say, some Turkish boys, you know.
Cup in South Africa. Bear in mind, this was an incredibly stacked German squad with players like Manuel Neuer, Sami Khedira, Bastian Schweinsteiger, Lucas Podolski, Miroslav Klose, Thomas Müller, Philipp Lahm, and Toni Kroos, just to name a few. Many people forget just how tough this German team was. And let me just say, if they hadn't conceded a goal to Spain in the last few minutes of the World Cup semi-final, they would have probably gone and won the whole thing. And might have won and consent others.
You can say that for anybody. Oh, if Emiliano Martinez hadn't saved that Colomboani shot, France would have won and Mbappe would have won Ballon d'Or.
They couldn't. In the eyes of his teammates and opponents alike, Mesut Ozil, like today's sponsor, is brilliant. Brilliant.org is the best way to learn subjects like math or computer science interactively.
Get your money,
Brilliant makes it easy to learn, and any review will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. But anyways, that's why, even as the youngest on the squad, Ozil was given the responsibility of starting during every single game of the World Cup. Ozil would score 1 goal and have 4 assists for his country, which, given the short span of the tournament, was very respectable for a 21-year-old. But after the World Cup, Europe's top clubs had undoubtedly noticed the young Ozil and would eventually set their sights to sign the young and promising playmaker. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Arsenal were among the top clubs showing interest. And there's even a story of how Wayne Rooney was
So imagine you a kid during this time. Matter of fact, we ain't even gonna do during this time. We gonna do like, not during his time. We gonna do during right now. Imagine you a footballer and the prospected clubs that want you is what he just said.
To sign the young and promising playmaker. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Arsenal were among.
Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal. Where y'all going? Well, matter of fact, we gonna do both. Answer in this current landscape, what team are y'all going to if y'all a midfielder and these people coming for y'all? Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Arsenal? Pokey say he going to Arsenal. So it's easy. Okay, so what if you was outside and Tony say he going to Arsenal too? So what if you was during his time period in the 2010s? Arsenal, Real Madrid, or them Lona boys? You know what I'm saying? Tony say Arsenal for game time. He say they midfield, not rock with him. Pokey say still Arsenal forever. He say he a Gunner boy forever. I ain't know you was an Arsenal fan. That's crazy.
The top clubs showing interest. And there's even a story of how Wayne Rooney was so impressed and amazed at Ozil's World Cup performance that he would personally ask Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him and bring him to Old Trafford.
Not playing over Xavi, Iniesta and them. That's what Perp say. Hey, but what if you was playing over them? What if you was good enough to get in that midfield though? You know what I'm saying? Barca was looking at him for a reason now. You know, it ain't like they wasn't looking at him for no reason.
To play for Man United. But of all the clubs, of course, Real Madrid would be the one to sign him. Ozil even stated that he was never in any rush to leave his old club at Werder Bremen. But when Real Madrid showed interest and approached him, Ozil would say, and I quote, "When the offer came in to play for Real Madrid, there is no decision to make.
You can't pass.
Let's be honest, you don't refuse this club." At first, Ozil would begin his time at Madrid quite slowly, initially coming off the bench. And he had originally been meant to come on as a substitute for Ricardo Kaká. But as many of you know, Kaká unfortunately suffered a string of injuries that would ruin his form and kept him out of play. Thus, for better or for worse, when Mesut Ozil's chance came to step up for the club, making no mistake, step up, he did.
Yeah, man.
From that moment, Ozil would get to doing, in his first season for Real Madrid, he would score 10 goals and have 2 assists, which was about 0.55 assists.
Damn! Look at the goal to assist ratio, though. That's how you know. He ain't here to score goals, nigga. He here to pass the ball to old Naldo and them. That's my type of midfielder right there, goddammit. 29 assists. 53 appearances, 5 goals.
A game. And it could have been even higher considering he didn't even start for his first several games with the club. But despite that, Ozil still managed to finish with the most assists by any player in any European competition that season.
Really?
Then during the 2011-12 season, Ozil would score 7 goals and have 28 assists.
Hey.
Another great assist ratio of 0.53 assists a game. Ozil would finish the season with the most assists in La Liga, even making the shortlist for the Ballon d'Or that year, being a huge factor in helping Real Madrid take the league title from Barcelona. Because that season, with Ozil running the offense, was the very first time a La Liga team finished over 100 points, which also helped him get nominated for the UEFA Best Player in Europe award, being the youngest, which would also help him get nominated for the UEFA Best Player in Europe award, being the youngest to ever finish at the top 10 of the awards voting. Then came time for the 2012 Euros, and Ozil was already seen by many as Germany's best playmaker. Heck, he was even voted the back-to-back German Player of the Year in 2011 and 2012, and would even win the award several more times in the coming years.
God, even though that boy was sweeping up like that during the 2010, he was Germany's true best player out there. You know, up in the 2010. What year was that Germany won that World Cup? They beat Argentina. That was 2014. Golly.
In the coming years, and even though they only made it to the semifinals,
who won player of the tournament in 2014? Was it Messi? Tight shit. So who was the best player on that Germany team, though? He said, you know how I go. Who was the best player on that Germany team? Was it Ozil? Thomas Müller?
Tournament. Ozil would still finish with the most assists in the 2012 Euros, as well as being added to the team of the tournament.
Oh man,
then for the following 2012-13 season, Ozil would once again lead the league in assists, ending the season with 10 goals and 29 assists in 52 games, with 0.56 assists per game. Throughout Ozil's entire time at Real Madrid, he was selling assists left and right, and his #1 customer was no other than Cristiano Ronaldo. Mesut Ozil was truly unplayable at Madrid, with eyes that seemed like they could see any impossible angle for a pass on the pitch. He could thread the ball through the tightest spaces and create chances where none existed before. And his ability to create scoring opportunities for his teammates has been a hallmark of his play throughout his career.
I know they love him.
His already amazing passing was his incredibly crisp dribbling. Ozil had great ball control and could weave his way through tight defenses. Ozil recorded a total of 81 assists in 159 appearances for Real Madrid. And according to Opta statistics, he would create an average of 2.9 chances per 90 minutes in the 2011-12 La Liga season. And he would also finish the 2012-13 season with an average of 3.5 key passes per game in La Liga, which was the highest in Europe's top 5 leagues that season. That's nearly 4 potential goals.
I would love to play. If I was a striker, boy, that's, imagine man's like Holland playing with a Mesut Ozil. Oh, my mama, that boy Holland would be eating and feasting.
Up every single match. Absolutely ridiculous. Mesut Ozil was truly a playmaking genius, and that's how so early into his career he was already on a healthy pace to smash the all-time assist record. But unfortunately, his time in Madrid wouldn't last long, as he only spent 3 full seasons with the club. And while he did manage to win the league title, Copa del Rey, and Spanish Super Cup in that short span of time, many wonder why he truly did leave Madrid.
He said unfortunately he was paired with Giroud and well, Giroud!
Clearly a genius on the pitch. And one of the main reasons was a reported disagreement between him and manager Carlo Ancelotti. As before the start of the 2013-14 season, Ancelotti had signed attacking midfielders Isco and Gareth Bale. And they had also just signed Luka Modric not too long ago. And he felt like Real Madrid's new additions would eventually take his role. And thus Mesut Ozil would depart to the Premier League for a new challenge in his career.
And it worked out for Real Madrid too.
Back then, this was the second highest transfer fee in British footballing history at £50 million. And Ozil wasted no time in making an impact on the pitch, as he would score.
It's crazy how evolution worked, because this was just 10 years ago. 50 million was the second highest transfer fee in the Prem. Now niggas like what is getting 100 million.
Take his role. Thus Mesut Ozil would depart to the Premier League.
Now you got niggas like Rodrigo getting 120 million shouts.
For a new challenge in his career to play for Arsenal. And back then, this was the second highest transfer fee in British footballing history at £50 million. And Ozil wasted no time in making an impact on the pitch, as he would score 7 goals and provide 14 assists in 27 appearances, helping Arsenal finish 4th in the Premier League and qualify once more for the UEFA Champions League. And Ozil was a huge factor in Arsenal's FA Cup triumph, providing the assist for Aaron Ramsey's winner in the final against Hull City, breaking the nearly decade-long trophy drought for Arsenal. That summer for the 2014 World Cup, Ozil would once again be called up to play for Germany. He would once more start in every match as the squad's main playmaker. And although he would only score 1 goal and have 2 assists, Ozil was undeniably a key piece in Germany winning the 2014 World Cup, as Ozil was a leader in passes completed, was ranked 2nd in chances created, and 2nd in overall possessions won during the entire tournament, something that doesn't show up on the stat sheets alone. In Ozil's 2nd year with Arsenal during the 2014-15 season, he would once again play a key role in helping Arsenal win back-to-back FA Cup titles, and contributed a goal and assist in Arsenal's 4-0 win over Aston Villa in the final to complete the consecutive title win. But it was during
as we can see, the nigga's stats like fell off the map after he left from Real Madrid. Is that a testament to him not playing with as skilled players as he did in Real Madrid, or is that a testament to the La Liga being easier than a Prem, or like what y'all think is the source behind like the stat drop off?
The consecutive
he don't fit in the system
the same. During the 2015-16 season that Mesut Ozil was in his best form. He was simply breathtaking, creating an incredible 146 chances over the course of the season, breaking the Premier League record for the most chances created in a single season, as well as finishing with the most assists in the Premier League with 19. And his passing accuracy was also amazing, with a success rate of 87.2%, and this did not go unrecognized in the football community, as he was named Arsenal's Player of the Season, the Premier League Playmaker of the Season, was included in the PFA Team of the Year, and finished in the top 10 shortlist for the Ballon d'Or a second time. And
top
the 2016 Euro.
That is what's up right there. With no motivation, he still finished top 10.
Was Ozil completed a staggering 95% of his passes, and even in the 2018 World Cup, despite Germany's early exit, Ozil averaged the most chances per 90 minutes than anyone else in the competition. Ozil would also win a 3rd FA Cup in 4 years, providing an assist in the final against Chelsea. But it was really around 2018 that Ozil's downfall would slowly start to begin. When Arsene Wenger was in charge of Arsenal, Ozil was a key player for the team, and he flourished under his guidance. However, when Unai Emery took over as manager in 2018, things started to change. He had a very different tactical approach.
It's crazy how like a single manager can almost ruin your whole career.
He found himself left out of the starting lineup, and rumors would start to surface about a falling out between the player and the manager. The following year, he was involved in even more controversy when Ozil criticized the treatment of Uyghur Muslims in China. Ozil, who's of Turkish descent, posted a message on social media in which he called Uyghur Muslims warriors who resisted persecution, and to heavily criticize China's treatment of the minority group. His comments drew a strong reaction from China, with state broadcaster CCTV dropping coverage of Arsenal's next match, and some Chinese fans even calling for Ozil to be banned from the country. But the worst thing was that Arsenal would distance themselves from Ozil's comments, stating that the club does not involve itself in politics. But many would speculate that the Arsenal board were furious with how he was losing money in potential Asian markets.
It's all about that money, man. Yeah, I already know they pack Ozil ass up, mess with their money.
He was losing money in potential Asian markets. Mesut Ozil would also announce that he would be ending his sponsorship deal with Nike, citing the company's treatment of workers as one of his main reasons for the decision. And as Ozil realized Arsenal were not supporting him, especially with his political and social comments against genocide in China, as well as slave labor with Nike, he would effectively refuse to play for them, as he burdened the club with insane weekly wages, while only making a total of 7 appearances in 58 matches.
Hold on, they said he was still getting paid during all of this?
Effectively refused to play for them, as he burdened the club with insane weekly wages, while only making a total of 7 appearances in 58 matches in a span of 3 years as a form of strike against Arsenal to eventually force a move. Perhaps if Ozil never left Real Madrid, his stats would be much higher than they are today. I believe it's very likely he would be leading the world in all-time assists by a record margin if he stayed. Ozil's playstyle best suits a heavily offensive team, and Real Madrid was the perfect club for him. When he moved to Arsenal, you could definitely see a drop in his production, as he did have teammates that definitely weren't on the same caliber as the forwards he had with Real Madrid. For example, Olivier Giroud would waste a ton of beautiful chances created by Ozil throughout his time at Arsenal. I mean, come on, the guy averaged about 3.23 chances per 90 minutes played in the Premier League during his time in Arsenal. And that is the highest average of any player in the Premier League during that period. Furthermore, according to Opta statistics, in the 2015-16 season, he averaged 4.2 key passes per game in the Premier League, which was the highest in Europe's top 5 leagues. And lastly, although Ozil is primarily known for his passing ability, he completed 61% of his dribbles in the Premier League during his time in Arsenal, which is a very high percentage for an attacking midfielder. And just the other day, after finishing his final years in the Turkish Super League, Mesut Ozil has finally decided to hang it up.
Oh, I was finna say, this nigga still plays? It said, I gotta realize this video was uploaded in 2023. I was about to say.
34 years old. Don't get me wrong, he's still one of the top assist leaders in history, but I just wonder how much more he could have gotten had his career been a little different. Imagine if he played for Arsenal today, or heck, even if he had a more supporting Arsenal management back then. But at the same time, he will always remain a legend of the game and someone that the streets will never forget. Personally, I support Ozil for his bravery to speak out against social and political issues. And despite his career not turning out as amazingly as many expected him to, sometimes, well, most oftentimes to be exact, there are some things that are simply bigger than football.
Hey man, it's like Mesut Ozil. Everybody clap it up. The greatest midfielder that almost was. They say he a bodybuilder now. Physique. Oh yeah, that nigga swole now, boy. That boy swole. I ain't gonna say bodybuilder. It's just, this is regular swole physique. Like, you know, this is like the average NFL player build almost. You know, average basketball player build also. Well, it depends on who it is, but you know. But like I said, speaking of KDB, bro, imagine that prime Ozil with Kevin De Bruyne. Not with Kevin De Bruyne, that prime Ozil with Haaland. Boy, man's like early would be eating good, man. I'm telling you right there. Early fuck around break Messi's 91 goal in the Canada season. Anyway, shout out Raymar Football for making this video. Get him to 572,000 subscribers. What team would I rather win out of Arsenal, Barca, Madrid during that time? I ain't gonna hold you. I'm going to Real Madrid too. Straight like that. Y'all know what time it is. Come on!